You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based the debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do it first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray and Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket, put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, you see me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, along with Jimmy, the legend Hicks, and Chris, good talking Walker. On the day is Women Rock Wednesday, and guess what? I'm going to start this show off with a woman's top. Jimmy. Simone Biles. Simone. Let me tell you something, Jimmy. She kind of flexed her little muscle the other day, Jimmy. You know what happened? The young girl has won some stuff, and people start talking about her. So let me read you some stuff. They said Simone, she's owning her greatness, Chris. The Olympic gymnast who won 5 gold medals at the World Championship to bring her total to a record, Chris, 25 medals. Nailed her tip, and they talked about her dominance. And she said, it's not out of cockiness. I've won 5 world titles. And if I say I'm the best gymnast out there, he said, that's not cocky. And look, people talking about this cocky. Look at her now. She said the facts are literally on the paper. So, Chris, what is it about when a young woman or when a woman in this gender, we got, this gender-dominated society of sports industry by men, when a woman says something like that, why they call her cocky, and when men, Chris, they call it confident? Could you help me?
Hold on. I got one thing to do before this all starts. Hold on.
Take your hat off. That's what.
No, man, you got to drink the thing, man. No, that wasn't the deal. I can't stand him, man.
No.
I can't stand him.
Now I'm ready. I'm ready.
Chris,
no.
You wrong for that, man.
Take your hat off and pour the water. Let's
No. That was Tyrone.
Hey, Chris.
That was Tyrone.
Chris, listen to me, Chris. This Women Rock Wednesday, okay?
Okay, my bad.
I am not gonna let you downplay. I ask you a question, Chris. about women. I'm not gonna let you downplay that. I know you can go. You could have waited till later. This Women Rock win. Let me tell you something, Rick. See, that's the kind of stuff that Simone Biles is talking about. Biles is talking about.
We're still gonna talk about it.
But guess what? No. I'm gonna be on the women's side today. It's Women Rock Wednesday. When we get to talking about a woman's topic, you go pour a bottle of water down your throat.
He got hot.
He got hot, man.
You know, I just want to know what's wrong with the young lady saying she the best.
I don't think there's anything wrong with her saying she's the best. Serena, you know what's funny? I'm going to pivot for a second, talk about Serena Williams. All of a sudden, because Serena Williams is going to break the young lady's record that played tennis in 1922, all of a sudden she got to break that record. But when Steffi Graf and Chris Evans, when they were playing tennis, I never heard of this person that they're saying that she has to break their record.
Oh, Margaret Court, because I'm a tennis player.
I never heard of Margaret Court back then.
They
never talked. But then when Martina Navratilova was playing tennis, you never heard of Margaret Court.
Because they didn't get close to her, Chris. They didn't get close to her.
In the era of tennis now, tennis is different now. It's the same way you guys talk about LeBron playing in the era, or Wilt playing when there were really no black basketball players, and the lane, people don't know the top of the key, the way the key was made. They changed things because of Wilt. So we try to fashion things and say, oh, LeBron couldn't have played back then.
Can we stay on the woman's topic right now, Chris Walker?
I'm trying to go there in a roundabout, circuitous way, Mr. Hatter. The bottom line is the reason why Simone Biles can't talk about it is the same reason why LeBron is getting punished in the media right now. If she was of a different hue, we'd be celebrating her. Because she's African-American and saying it, she's bragging. She's supposed to be quiet and just humbly dominate. She's not allowed. Jackie Robinson was not allowed to say, I'm better than Pee Wee Reese. I'm better than these guys. He's got to be good and be quiet. You got to be good and be quiet. Okay? Michael Jordan did that for a long time until he gave his Hall of Fame speech. His Republican butt was good and quiet. That's what he is. That's what he was. Good and quiet. And that's the same reason why, again, you see all this stuff going on in sports today. Why your dude is on the cover of Sports ESPN right now, Carmelo Anthony, is not on the roster now because he talked too much. Be good and be quiet. They'll give you everything.
Don't, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy, because this guy trying to hijack the narrative. Jimmy, what are your comments on this Women Rock Wednesday on a young lady? And maybe let me give you a better one. See, she was saying she's a GOAT because it's legitimate. And what she said in her message, Jimmy, she had a message that she gave out to those people. There are so many people out there that are talking about they're the GOAT and really ain't. They really ain't the GOAT, and they haven't put in the work yet. So don't let that be don't let that part of her quote, because I should have read the quote first before I let him talk. But she was just saying everybody trying to be a GOAT, talking about they're a GOAT, Jimmy. And guess what? They ain't done enough yet. But her records speak for themselves. But so what you got to say, Jimmy?
Well, I mean, on Simone Biles, the thing that I think that she can greatly, well, the thing that I like about her is the fact that after 2016 in the Olympics, you know, she told everybody, I'm taking pretty much this whole year off. She took most of the year off to rest. And then while this was going on, the stuff came to light about her former trainer, Larry Nassar, who was eventually sentenced to up to 175 years, had assaulted her, right? Sexually assaulted her. So she came out after winning the gold, and many people, when she first came out, you know, did the normal play of, you know, that ain't true, or you must have wanted it, or you caused it. She put her face in the middle of the freeway of this crusade against this man, this her horrible person that is labeled as a human being, and still managed to keep composure and excel as an athlete to proceed to win several more world titles. That's understand what you're talking about psychologically. I could only imagine what a person's going through in those cases.
And Jimmy, and all of those young girls had to compete under that. So not just her, all of us, a lot of those young, there's a few more of her teammates, they had to compete under that same thing. And that guy had assaulted them also.
So with that was with that topic that I just brought up, that point about Miss Biles, Simone Biles, that is we notice and we know every other case that comes out that has came out in recent years about sexual assaults, there's always been an attempted cover-up. Just last year, it was in in Ohio or something, and one of the summer coaches was arrested and indicted.
Jimmy, why are we going there? That ain't what I asked. I mean, why are we going? You must have a reason to go to help me, because we talking about a great accomplishment she just got, right? Let's talk about this Women Rock Wednesday. Could we please talk about her accomplishments? All I wanted to know is, in a male-dominated society, and maybe I asked the question wrong, and you just wanted to answer it the way you wanted to, but why are we bringing up sexual assaults? Because you might have a reason.
Because that's important in our society, and it's something that's taking place. And every time it's brought up, a lot of times there are men that come up and say what you just said. Man, why are we talking about that?
No. That is not the question I asked. That's all I'm saying. That's not what I asked in the beginning. Now, if you want to come, because reason I wanted you to ask the question, because I got something I want to end this topic with. But go finish. Go on finish. Let's talk about the sexual assault. I mean, you just took me from, in a male-dominated society, my question was, why do they have to call her cocky and call guys confident when they say they the GOAT? That really was the question.
That was the question that you had asked Chris.
Yeah, but then I pose it to you.
Let's move on, man.
Okay. No. I just asked a question. That's all I did. It's all right on this show to ask questions. If you don't have an answer to come back with it, it's okay. But my thing was that she can be young, she can be the best at what she do, and being a woman doing it in a male-dominated sports industry, sometimes it is frowned upon. I applauded her confidence and appreciate her productivity. And I love the idea she said, yes, I'm the best, because it's on paper. But what I love more is that it's important that she's teaching young women to act this way, because there is a gender inequality that she points out, that if you're female, you get called cocky, but if you're male, you praise for being confident. Shout out to Simone Biles. That's the point I was trying to make. Now you can talk about all the other, what Larry Nassar and all. This wasn't Larry Nassar's day. This was Women Rock Wednesday. That's why I said what I said. That's all. Now we can move on.
Well, it'd been better. You just said that first, and didn't give us our thoughts after that. You said something and asked the question.
It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to one up me. It's okay. It's all right. What's the next topic?
The Astros. That's the topic. That's what I'm trying to do. Astros. Ain't that woman logged on to the website except Lori Dotson. We give Lori Dotson. It should have been her day. If anything, shout out to Lori Dotson.
Okay. What about Lori Dotson?
Women Rock Wednesday. Ain't no women watching the show.
Yes, it is.
Let's talk about. Let's tell
okay, excuse me. Sandra Hicks is watching the show. Marquessa Carter is watching the show. Wendy Johnson is watching the show. Mika Nicole is watching the show. And Angie Holcomb is watching the show. So it is 6 women on the show right now watching the show. It just ain't came up on your timeline. It's 6 women watching the show right now.
Well, shout out to all 5 of them. I'm quite sure they really want to hear about Simone Biles. I think so. So we just gave him a good dose of 15 minutes of Simone Biles. So now, Astros, once again, last night they took game 3. As you guys started, at the top of the show, you saw Chris Walker guzzling a half of a jug of water, a bottle of water, that is, when the bet was for him to guzzle a whole bottle of water.
No. I did a half.
You were supposed to pour it over his head, Jimmy.
That's what Tyrone said. You better call Tyrone. Jimmy didn't say
you
that.
agreed to it, man.
I said a bottle of water. You didn't do that.
You said I had to drink it. There it is right here. I got my section.
A bottle of water.
Well, that's gonna take too long. I'll drink while you talk. How's that?
And if you go use the restroom, there's gonna be a shot.
No.
That's right.
There you go. Keep walking.
There you go. Get on up in there. Astros. We gonna name it. Hey, Altuve, Bregman, Bradley. That's what I'm talking about. Say, okay. Yesterday's game, of course, to talk about the Astros. I mean, that was guess what, a stellar, and that was not nowhere near the best performance from pitcher Garrett Cole on yesterday.
Yeah, 5 walks.
5 walks.
Yeah.
Uncharacteristic. He put numerous bases in scoring position, but he came through every time while pitching shutout. 7 innings of shutout ball, shutout ball against the Yankees. I mean, dude.
You can't pitch every game, baby. You can't pitch every game. Don't worry.
Psychologically, the Yankees after in the post-game press conference, they came out and Aaron Judge, he could confess that their plan was to be very aggressive against Cole. That's why you saw a lot of it. That's why Cole's pitch count was so low for the first 2 or 3 innings, because they did not want to get behind and let him get that 0-1 count, which would eventually turn into an 0-2, possibly an 0-2 count. And now you're at the mercy of the best pitcher in the game right now, as far as on the field productivity. This guy has not lost a game, guys, since May. That has to soak in. Yeah. It's almost November.
I would be afraid if I were you that some point is going to end.
But it didn't end last night. How about that?
What you say?
It didn't end last night.
Yeah, you're right. We don't have to end last night.
How about that?
It's a 7-game series, partner. It's a 7-game series.
Hey, now, at some point in time, Aaron Boone is going to end up being the GOAT. I mean, not the GOAT, but the target of criticism from the Yankee fan. He's taken gamble after gamble after gamble, and besides game 1, it's not paying off. They're not paying off. It looks good. You go out there making these changes and doing all this and running through that bullpen. Where's this great ass bullpen that we've been promised to understand about from the Yankees? And guess what? You guys have the heaviest ink. We understand that. That's why. Because your narratives in New York, in the New York media, from the New York Post and the New York Daily, the New York Times, your media is the heaviest. Your ink, I mean. So therefore, we go and we get to believe in that mess. Yes, they play good. Yes, they pitch good this season. We all know it's postseason, baby. It's postseason. And guess what happened today? Moments ago, Major League Baseball has announced that Game 4 is postponed till Thursday. There will be no game today. So you know what that means?
That means y'all go, like I already typed it on the timeline. That means if I go to the city right now, if I jump on the A train, go to the city right now, I'm going to see Altuve at the spot drinking margaritas. Carrera going to be over at the other spot down the street. And your boy Garrett Cole and Verlander, they're going to be all in the 40-40 club. This is going to benefit because ain't nowhere to go in Houston. All right, because none of them go to Swagger, or they might hang out on what's that little street where all the new clubs are now. Ain't nowhere to go in H-Town. So they're gonna be happy, and they're gonna be in Disneyland in New York tonight. Because this is one of the best nights to go out in the city.
Are up there. Chris
this one of the best nights. Hey, Robert had a son, though. Ask Robert Haber Jr. Hold up. Robert Haber Jr. probably taking some of them out, Jimmy. I'm telling you.
No. He loved the Astros. No, he loved the Astros, buddy. He said
he ought to be winning some more. He ought to be laying some good money down.
And he up here killing them. I think they went to the game last night. He said all them Yankee fans mad at him. He had on Houston Astros
But
everything.
hey, how about the young man that said that the one that hit the home run? I forget his name. That they were throwing stuff at him in the outfield.
Carrera.
No, not Carrera. No, it was Reddick. They were throwing baseballs and throwing water bottles at him.
Chris.
That's hey man.
Chris.
It's like the Apollo.
Chris.
You know what? Yankee Stadium is a bigger version of the Apollo.
Chris,
man.
do you know where Yankee Stadium is? It's in the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
And guess what their nickname is, y'all? Let me help. The Bronx Zoo. No. It's the Bronx Zoo. What happens at the zoo? There's a lot of animals at the zoo. So I expect that from them. I expect that.
Man. Like Frank Sinatra said, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Baby.
You know what? Hey, you ain't there. You ain't been there that long. Man, slow down. You visited.
Concrete jungle, baby.
You visited. Hey, Chris, I'll be up there Thursday. You going to the game with me. No, be ready. You going to the game. So, hey, Jimmy, what time that game on Thursday?
The game on Thursday, it would be
Thursday
7
night.
o'clock. I think it's 7 o'clock first pitch.
Right after the show, I'm headed to the airport, Chris.
I'll let you boy, man. I'll be right there ready to go with my pinstripes on.
Oh, Lord.
And of course, that is, once again, if you just tuned into the Chop Shop, the Astros versus Yankees Game 4 has been postponed due to rain in the New York area. So that means Game 4 is on Thursday, right? Game 5 will be on Friday, also in New York. Game 6 and Game 7 is not affected. They will still go on as scheduled. But guess what? They're in Houston. So know what that means? That's possible 4 days in a row of games and flying across the country in between the two. This is very
not necessary,
very
Jimmy, not flying across the country. You ain't going through but one time zone. So it's 3.5 hour flight. 3.5.
Yeah, that's understand what time of night you're flying, what time you're flying. They got to leave. Both teams are going to leave immediately after the game.
But guess
they
what?
They got to get their rest with them legs like the A players. Come on, man. Y'all already know what time.
But you know
what? Go. No, you good.
You know what else that this day off gives? This day off gives Verlander.
Who?
The V-Master.
Who?
The V-Master.
The one that needed an 11th inning home run to win a game. Who?
It don't matter. The one that's a Cy Young candidate. They give Verlander. First of all, that means now, because here's what was going to happen today. Had the game took place as scheduled, the Yankees and the Astros were both planning to use spot pitches throughout the game, meaning that most of your relief guys, because nobody had relied on a fourth starter. Nobody has one designated. Has got knocked out and been hurt early on, the one that the Astros had. So this was going to be an experimental game on the mound for both teams. Well, for the Yankees, they may go now, and the day off may help the Yankees as well, because now they may get to bring Tanaka back for who pitched in game 1.
Tanaka. I like that.
They may bring him back for game 4 tomorrow.
Bring him on.
And guess what? Greinke, we know. Greinke hadn't been all that for the Astros, but I'll tell you one thing. He's overdue. We know he's part.
Just like Garrett Cole, overdue to lose. Keep going. If he overdue one way, it's overdue the other way.
Chris, if you ever see Garrett Cole on the mound again, know what it's going to be? In Houston in a game, in a clinching game. If you ever see him again, it's going to be for all of all.
First of all, we are going to see it again. As TNT says, dramas make the best movies. Trust me. Dramas make the best movies. Keep it going.
Speaking of drama, what the hell has took place in St. Louis?
Yo, man.
Wow.
Just a week ago, the manager stood in the presser. Not the presser. In the confines of his own locker room and addressed the team.
Did you see that?
With a prophetic, you got a tape of that? You got
No,
that?
I wasn't going to put that on there.
Man, he went off. I don't care who the F we playing. We gonna whoop they effing ass. We gonna do this. And guess what they going to do?
They got swept.
They got swept by the Nats.
Yeah.
By the Nats.
Yeah.
Hey
man, that man talk bad, man. I don't
Listen,
even want to
man.
put that on there, huh?
Listen, man.
Right.
The larger narrative is the Washington Nationals got rid of Bryce Harper, didn't renew his didn't pay him, and went to the World Series. It should say something from all the way up from Little League, maybe not Little League, because you need a little goat in Little League.
Jim,
All these dudes.
Chris, stop
I'm
it.
going there, Hatter.
Chris, stop.
I'm going.
They
Hatter,
did
I'm going there.
not pay him,
Jay-
Chris. They just didn't give him what
They didn't want
Philly
the
was
money.
offering.
Okay, so they
They
let it
gave
go.
him a great
could've
deal.
paid him.
He had a
They
great
could've
deal.
paid him. They decided not to, and whoever decided not to should get the biggest pay raise ever, because them not giving that dude. Hey, I'm gonna tell you another thing that he was a drag on: culture. He was a drag on the culture there. So getting rid of him freed some culture up in the locker room to go in a different direction. And is it by, oh my God, happenstance, the Washington Nationals are going to the World Series? I'd love to interview Bryce Harper and ask him what he thinks, or interview the guys in the Washington Nationals locker room off camera, Hatter, and be like, I guarantee you they'll be like, the best thing we ever did was not pay Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Hatter.
You're right.
Hatter.
You're right.
You say we. You said we.
Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, I'm saying, no, I'm talking about if you interview somebody
can-
from the
can
Nationals,
hey, Jimmy,
they'll say
Jimmy,
the best thing we did.
Can I take a station break right quick? I want to
Why?
say a happy congratulations to Miss Cheryl Anderson. She done changed that name. She used to have 100 names and then got married, I guess, and she got one name. So congratulations, Cheryl. I love you, baby. Now I can just call you Cheryl Anderson. And you had about 12 names at first. So congratulations. Now, back, Jimmy knows what I'm talking about. So back.
So, yes, I mean, congratulations to Cheryl. I mean, we love you to death. We love you to death, Cheryl. And,
Love you, Cheryl.
And your new what do they call it, matrimony?
Yeah.
You
know what it is. Ain't you got a matrimony over there? You better know what it is.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, and I want to mention is that the thing with Chris, the piggyback off what Chris said about the Washington Nationals. You guys understand, the city is our nation's capital. It's not the Washington State National. It's the Washington, D.C. Nationals located on the East Coast. This is the first time that this city has enjoyed the World Series. We'll be enjoying the World Series since in almost a century. 1933 was the last time that a team from Washington made it to the World Series. And at that time, it was the old Washington Senators.
Yeah.
And so this is really, really interesting and intriguing because the story, remember I said it last week, in nominal fans or nominal media, you follow the story. Washington Nationals is the story. I mean, they actually let go and refused to pay their best player, and arguably one of the best players in baseball a year or so ago. And in turn, you got rewarded with a trip to the World Series. I mean, Bryce Harper, he's going to the Phillies. That's where he went to. And this is remarkable because of the fact that pitching has been, stellar. You know, Strasburg and even the young man last night, Patrick Corbin, he had like 14 Ks last night in the win. I mean, they dominated St. Louis. So now, if you're a fan in Washington, I'm quite sure they will much rather play the Yankees than to play the Astros. Why?
Man, please.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. Why? Because it's a shorter commute, and it's a shorter flight, and it stays on the East Coast.
Guess
So
what, Jimmy?
that
Guess what? They can drive the train. They can take that could be a train ride if they want to.
Well, a lot of the fans now would be able to go.
No, the teams do too. They call it the Subway Series. No, that's the Mets in the
Wrong
Yankees.
city.
But
Wrong
we
city.
could call that the Amtrak Series because I've driven on that train ride from New York to DC. Great train ride. Great train ride. You finish.
And so, and thank you, Favre. Washington offered more money, and he chose Philly. Favre, is that true? Thanks so much.
That's true.
You know, one thing about me, I don't claim to be that guy that knows it all.
Yeah, but I said this about Favre, though. I said he took less money, true point, but remains they needed a different culture. They wanted him out there. Trust me, they needed to move on.
Tell Favre to do me a deal. Do me a
And he knew it too. He knew it too.
Tell Favre, when you go do research like that, before y'all even agree with Favre, look at the years of the deal and then look at the money and come back and explain that to us. Go, if you want to put that out there, go back and look at the years of service and the years of money. It's a reason that happened.
How many years was it?
I don't know, but I remember it was a stickler there about the years. I don't know. I'm just telling you because I wasn't worried about it. I didn't do the deal. But I remember it was something about the year. See, people can say, Robert, they gave Robert $100 million, right? But if it's over 20 years, and over here they gave me $90 million, and it went for 10 years, which deal is better? So go take a look at both Favre and both of the length of the contract if you want to make. Jimmy, I know you're probably pulling it up right now as I'm talking. It was a reason. It was a reason why this guy took that deal.
Bottom line is the Nats benefited from him leaving. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
If you interview the guys in that locker room, they benefit. The diva is gone, just like that diva is gone in Jacksonville. Oh, my bad, Hatter. I didn't mean to say that. My bad, Hatter.
Say what you want, baby.
That diva is gone in Jacksonville.
Say what you want, baby. Say what you want. I know you're a hater. I don't know why you don't like me. Did that dude take one of your girls or one of your women or something? Because you sure don't like no Jalen Ramsey. I mean, you don't like outspoken black men?
Wow, that's not true. I love.
Why you don't like black men?
Hey, what about that? I thought you was going to put that picture that I sent you yesterday with LeBron on
it. You know I got it.
Man, I can't believe they're going after LeBron the way they are, man. I don't want to get Jimmy started up because I almost nuck when they saw nuck when you buck. I almost went at Jimmy through the phone today, man. He almost got me. He got my water hot.
Hey, do you know what? I sit there and listen to that mess y'all was talking about this morning, and and I don't know if we're gonna go there yet. We try there because y'all kind of got on my nerves this morning.
What now? What are you talking about?
It was too early in the morning for that.
Listen, man. We gotta have objective opinions. We gotta talk things out. That's the way things work in this country. As Jimmy says, we're in a country that has free speech, so we gotta talk. We get to talk things out, and we don't have to worry about our internet being cut off like Rick Whitmore. Okay?
Hey, that the pitch is, y'all. The pitch is about to come up. You know we got a 10-second delay, so the picture will be up there soon. They painted. They got a portrait of LeBron as being the Chinese dictator. Let me tell y'all something, man, because I got Jimmy, I don't know. It's a friend of mine who watched this show. That guy came on this morning. Just LeBron bashing. And you know what? I forgot to ask him one question. Do you not like LeBron? Because every time I gave him a fact, he came back with one of the talking points that these other people are using. And y'all, quote unquote, other people are using. And I'm just sitting there saying, why are you constantly with these same talking about? Well, he's a hypocrite. Man, come on. Come on, man. So what we going to go from here? Because I found out some unique stuff about the LeBron fiasco.
Why don't you share what you find out?
No. First of all, thank you for sending me you sent Jimmy and I on our group text, you sent us an article. And like every article y'all send me, now I know y'all don't read my articles, so I'm gonna stop sending it to you. But
that's not true. I don't read mine, I read yours.
So Robert Hatter read this article. Unique article, and it was talking about LeBron James, the things that we didn't know that were happening over there, in the Daryl. I call it the Daryl Morey fiasco. I'm not gonna call it the LeBron James.
Call it Morey Gate.
Morey Gate, and it was a unique thing, y'all. The Lakers flew over on a 14-hour flight with no Wi-Fi. They must have been on that same plane that Sacramento used. I can't understand a big old beautiful plane like this not having Wi-Fi, but it's possible. So when they left 14 and 14 hours, Daryl Morey's tweet, I don't think it had took legs yet. So Daryl Morey does the tweet. So these guys fly 14 hours, don't know what's going on, because all they can see on the plane is movies or Netflix or whatever they was playing on the plane. Okay? So when they landed, okay, they got on the bus, that's when they started getting texts from people, and they went to the hotel. They kind of figured something was going on. So they get to the hotel, y'all, and when they get to the hotel, you remember Adam Silver is in Japan. So the Nets are already at the hotel. So guess what? They found out the New Jersey Nets NBA Cares program had been canceled. Then they found out theirs had been canceled because theirs was going to be that evening. So they said, okay, we cool. Because shoot, we got jet lag anyway, so we can get some rest. So then they in their rooms, they looking out across the street, they see people taking the banners down, their banners down. Now imagine now, see what I'm trying to do now, y'all pretend y'all one of these people, not just the players, because they have support staff. They got a lot of people that travels with them, y'all. It's not everybody's not a millionaire that's on the plane. Okay, so all of these people in a communist country where they got the watch, because guess what? When they went to the USA game, you remember when what they have over there, the World Games? In the World Games, where Team USA went over there and got spanked, the players were briefed on how you act and what you have to do in a communist country. Let me repeat that. The players were briefed and over about your behavior in a communist country. Jimmy, if you want to add something, because I'm tired of talking, you can add something. So whenever you want
to, just make sure you say the right stuff.
Whenever you want to add it. So you want to go? You want to give a piece, Jimmy?
I mean, that's pretty much in a nutshell.
No, more happened. No, a lot more. Well, okay,
won't you tell everything that happened?
Let me tell the story. Okay, let me tell the story. Okay, so after that happens, Adam Silver is on the way. So the players are talking. You got to realize they're all in the same hotel. Okay, they're in the Ritz-Carlton in Shanghai. All right. So the players get to talking. What is his name? Rob Pelinka, the executives who were there already, they were talking about what it was trying to get unified and what's going on. Then I found out LeBron, when Adam Silver finally came, first thing LeBron said was, hold on, Adam, if this would have been a player, it would have been ramifications for this. What are you going to do with Daryl? What's going to happen to Daryl? He the one did this tweet. Okay? Okay, so they're going back and forth. They're going back. So Adam Silver couldn't get nowhere with the players. So he went down and talked to the owners. Because LeBron said, look here, man. The players didn't get you in this. Don't try to use us to get you out of this. Yes, and LeBron, and that's what, and so stuff went back and forth. Hold up, Chris. Adam Silver was nervous and scared, Jimmy, that they wasn't going to let him in the country. When he was flying from Tokyo, he said he had a retina scan. They took him through a lot of stuff to get through customs, to get in there to talk to him. So, I mean, it's just so many things. And one of the players said something real key. He said, man, ain't nowhere in the world Daryl Morey didn't know the ramifications of this. You know why? He said, because guess what? They briefed us. They briefed us as players. We know we couldn't say certain things.
Exactly.
So what I found out about Daryl Morey, he has some friends that live in Hong Kong. Okay? He has some friends that live in Hong Kong. And maybe he was just, if you got friends,
bro.
Huh?
You caught up in the moment.
Caught up in the moment. And he did, and you know what? A friend of mine texted me this morning. Chris and Jimmy going back and forth this morning. So many texts, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. This how many texts was this morning. So, but my friend called me and he texted me and he said something key. And this was killing me with our people.
When you say our people, who we talking about?
Black people.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Black people. Okay. He asked me a question. He said, Robert, LeBron's catching the heat. I said, I know. Then I asked him a great question. It's a black man. Should he be? And guess what his question was? His answer was, absolutely. And Chris, this is his reason. For all the good he's done in this country and his positions on injustice in this country, his comments took a complete opposite direction. So guess what I asked him, Chris? You tell me which one of his comments took a complete opposite direction. I said, I'm just curious. I respect your view. Man, I'm waiting. And I waited. And I waited. Jimmy, and I waited. And I waited. And I waited. And I'll let y'all chime in. And I'll tell y'all later what he texted me with. And y'all, let me tell y'all something, man. Y'all reading these articles. Y'all reading these propaganda against LeBron. Don't y'all get fooled by this. Because nowhere have they talked about Daryl Morey. Nowhere.
Thank you very much.
Adam Silver is off the hook. They ain't burn no Houston Rocket jersey over there. They ain't burn
ain't no Daryl Morey jersey.
Ain't no Adam Silver's lookalikes they burned over there. They burning a young black man. And don't y'all ever let that symbolism get past you. Like Jimmy said, y'all better pay attention. And Jimmy, you need to pay attention. None of those guys, only one person getting scrutinized in Hong Kong, LeBron. I find something terribly wrong with that. Chop shop, Jimmy, y'all can have the flow. I'm tired. Let me give me some water.
I'll let Jimmy handle it. I just chopped Jimmy up on the Facebook feed wearing all that Nike stuff. I said Jimmy's staying with China. That's all I got to say.
I don't. Y'all don't get it. Don't understand. Some people give a damn, and some people don't give a damn about things that do not directly apply to them. And it's always been that way. So sometimes when you want, that's why a lot of people made the comment or posed the question and say, well, why didn't LeBron or Daryl Morey say anything about the recent police tragedies that they've caused upon black individuals in the state of Texas alone?
I didn't say that. You said that.
I said it.
I said people said it. I didn't say who said it.
Okay.
I said people posed the questions. Mm-hmm. Remember now, hit dogs holler.
Well, no, I know. No, I didn't get hit. I don't like to see the dog getting hit. So guess what? I'm a humanitarian. I don't like to see the dog getting hit. Yeah.
You just said the floor is ours.
Yeah. No. But if you say something, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna comment. Come on, man.
Y'all go it on.
Come on.
Nah, come on.
Chris, come on. Chris, I click him off.
I want to hear Jimmy. I want to hear Jimmy's thing. I want to hear his thing.
Y'all speak on it, Chris. I pass the mic.
I want to hear
Chris, take the mic, Chris. Take the mic. Take the mic.
I want Jimmy to comment.
No, take the mic. We had Negroes like that in our neighborhood. We let them take their regular ass ball because I had a ball too. So go and take your ball. Chris, go and talk.
All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, LeBron not commenting on what's going on in Texas or what's going on anywhere else. He has made that stance time and time again. I think we can give LeBron, just because he didn't comment on Amber Geiger or anything like that, he don't have to comment on every situation. We know where LeBron stands. And what we're doing is crucifying LeBron now because we're saying LeBron's just trying to make money. He on both sides of the fence. LeBron's a businessman, number one, guys. He's a businessman. We don't tell Nike that. Nike don't have that responsibility. Under Armour don't have that responsibility. All the other companies that do business with China don't have that responsibility. So now we landed at LeBron's feet that he's got to be like, LeBron should shut up. Well, why? We don't say at the 45 and all the business he's done all of his life. So my thing is to now we find somebody we can go after. We just talked about Simone Biles, why she can't say she the GOAT. Because when Simone, if she's quiet, they love her. The minute she says something or speaks her mind, Jimmy, free speech, they jump on her. LeBron, he's the face of the league. He got to say something. He can't be like James Harden and say, I'm not doing that. He can't do that. That ain't James. It ain't James' time to do that right now. James is actually smart to do that. That's not his platform. And he'll tell you that, man. Hold on now. That ain't my lane right now. I ain't ready to be that social justice dude. So in my mind, LeBron is right to say something. It wouldn't have meant anything if Kevin Love said something, Jimmy. It wouldn't. And I'm gonna tell you another guy that could have said something but didn't say anything. Steph Curry. He's a guy that crosses over both boundaries. Kevin Durant. The bottom line is, man, LeBron had to say something. Whether you agree or disagree with what he said, that's one thing. But why are we now shifting the blame? How about Muhammad Ali? How about they got Muhammad Ali's old ex-wife to come out and say LeBron is no Muhammad Ali? Do you know the way Muhammad Ali was depicted in the 60s? That's ridiculous, Jimmy.
Ridiculous.
Come on, Jimmy. I'm trying to get Jimmy to come out because I want to hear what he got to say because we've been going at it all morning. Let's put it on the chop shop. I wait.
The Muhammad Ali situation was a whole different time and era when Muhammad Ali at the time, remember, this was not Cassius Clay who had went and vowed against the Vietnam War. It was Muhammad Ali. After that point, he had experienced a drastic change in his life, which was punctuated by joining the Nation of Islam. He wasn't just protected by the Nation of Islam, he was joined it. So that means, that was a different plight in regard to him and his views on the rest of the world. So he had a vested interest as well, but not necessarily the financial stake was at risk as it is for LeBron James. The financial stake, meaning that LeBron is the face of Nike, which has headquarters, their international headquarters they have is in their factories are in China. With Muhammad Ali, it was more of a human and issue, a human being and a human, I'm gonna say race, but issue that was the core of the city, because he quoted, as Muhammad Ali said, them Viet Congs ain't never did nothing to me. So why am I gonna go over there and fight them? So that was the thing, and I look at it and I understand. Remember, when TMZ goes and gets a quote from somebody, they normally, if we see it, I watch TMZ often, not every day or not every week, but I watch it sometimes in front of the TV, and you see they catch a person coming out of a restaurant and chunk or airport, toss a question at them, and they have 15 seconds to reply. So we don't know the text of it. You don't know the question before, whatever. So, but no reason to attack her. But she's going to defend her ex-husband. She's going to defend the father of her kids. So yeah, that's all I understand.
Yeah, but they're taking a stab at LeBron. Like what do you mean what do you mean he's no LeBron?
Well, think about it.
I know. What do you mean though? How about this?
If they went and asked Juanita, who's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan or MJ? She's gonna say, even though they divorced and she got $300 million up out of him, she's gonna say, no, that LeBron ain't better than MJ. I mean, it's some good ear candy. That's what it is. Ear candy.
I think they're talking about social justice, Jimmy. I think it's a more elevated conversation. It's an elevated conversation about what social justice is. Here's my problem. And we talk about black folks, and you guys can agree or disagree, and the boom room have at it, especially from an African American's perspective. We live in a country where that same military that you talked about that was going over to Vietnam, which my great uncles, my grandmother's brothers fought in, came back. The mine's just gone, right? Segregated to not then segregated, but before that segregated. Also in this country, the same time these guys are coming out, we had Jim Crow. We had all kind of crazy stuff going on in this country. And I listen to these people on this feed talk about what's going on in China.
Yes.
And I say, you know what's funny? We don't have systemic racism in public education. We got that over here. I don't know if they got it over there. You know, we don't have mass shootings over there, but we got them over here. There's a lot of stuff we got over here where people can't get loans from the bank. We talk about communism and we talk about freedom of speech. At the end of the day, what about our freedoms here that we're not getting, Jimmy? We talk about the freedoms that they're not getting. And a lot of us, again, I've been there, I've been to Russia, and what they're not getting there, what about what we're not getting here? And we're steady commenting on what China's doing. And half the people on this feed, I hope they vote. So let's keep it 100 before we start talking. This is a conversation. To me, this is a opportunity to talk about the injustices here. You're right, Jimmy. I really don't care about what's going on over there. I don't live there. I care about what's going on here. So let's use what's happening over there to talk about what's going on over here. Nobody wants to have that conversation. Believe me, nobody wants to have that conversation. And once again, they play action faked us. They don't talk about Daryl Morey here. What happened? Now let's pile on LeBron. Come on, cheat sheet. Y'all don't see that? You the media guy, Jimmy. It's happening right in front of our face. They don't want to talk about the water in Flint. It's still bad. We live in the richest country in the world, and they still got bad water in Flint. We still got we still got dilapidated schools in our country. And we the richest country in the world, and we talking about China. We still got gun laws that we still can't even agree on, that people shouldn't have assault rifles, and they're killing people left and right. And we talking about China?
Hong Kong?
Man, please. Come on, man. Y'all crazy, man.
Remember, LeBron James went in last year and quoted one of the Martin Luther King's, one of his many
I know where you're going.
cliches. And thinking that it basically said, he quoted the one that said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. And a lot of people will wait, and that's one thing about Twitter, because Twitter or social media, you have to realize in the United States, only according to the stats, only 7% of the population have accounts on Twitter. It seems like it's virtually everybody's on Twitter, but it's only 7% of the population in America have an account. And that doesn't mean all 7% are always on there at the same time. Freedom of speech, and that's one of the things that I'm an advocate for, but also I'm an advocate for people understanding the consequences that come with them. There have been several instances in we're talking about media. Stephen A. Smith, he, just a year ago, made comments that was under the political realm within the confines of the United States of America. A couple of years ago, that was. And guess what? He got suspended. Jemele Hill did the same, followed through with similar comments, not similar, but under the political umbrella. She was what? Not only suspended, but eventually lost her job. Then ESPN went and sent another memo reminding people just within the past week and a half that about watching their political, keeping this stuff above the belt with their comments of the political rant. It has consequences, and a lot of the things that you say. So a lot of people, the thing is, a lot of times we want other people to make the sacrifices that we aren't willing to make ourselves. And then when they don't do it, you get pissed off at them, and they just sell out, or and at the same time, I firmly believe that everybody out there has a price that either you would take to talk, in the forms of snitching or giving up, or everybody has a price to shut the hell up. One of the two. Everybody out there has a price.
So Jimmy, what is Daryl Morey's price? Because if freedom of speech is real, like you say, why hasn't he said something else?
He apologized.
Why did he apologize? You just said freedom of speech.
Why did he apologize?
So why is he apologizing? And why hasn't he kept talking about it? If you're telling me human rights is the issue and what's going on in Hong Kong is a big deal, he's a U.S. citizen. He can keep talking about it. Why not?
He has a price to shut the hell up.
So he should have shut the hell up in the first place.
But Chris Walker, I haven't heard nobody say Daryl Morey is sold out. I haven't heard an article say Daryl Morey has sold out. Not one person on this show have ever said Daryl Morey has sold out.
Well, you can't sell out anything that hadn't been bought into. So that's the whole thing. Just like LeBron isn't a sellout. LeBron didn't trick us into believing that he was dissing and he wasn't that he wasn't pro or down with his interest in China. LeBron didn't trick us into believing that. LeBron ain't a sellout.
I thought LeBron just really said, why you gotta do it while we here, man? Like, do what you want, but why you gotta do it while we here?
Hey, Chris
why you gotta do it while we here?
Chris Walker.
People, come on.
I asked that question to B. Scott because she talking about his consequences. Everybody worry about his consequences. To what I'm talking about, what did he say to make you, not them white folks, what did he say to make you mad? All he said was, man, could you have waited until we got out of there?
What couldn't it be a possibility? You understand? Daryl Morey, he apologized. So I haven't even dissected the timing of his tweet, what time of day it was, because that means that would be important and interesting as well. Because a lot of times when people make tweets that are ill-advised, often they are coming after a time when it's late in the midnight hour and after a couple of sips of some good get loose juice. I'm curious to know as to what time. Of course, he's deleted it, and Daryl Morey has, but I'm curious to know what time did that translate to. Number two is when Daryl Morey made his tweet, right? The Rockets were in Japan. Right. So it's very well possible that Daryl Morey wasn't thinking about, really at the moment of the button, he wasn't thinking about, oops, the Lakers and the Nets are about to go there.
Come on, Jimmy.
No.
Come on, Jimmy.
No,
the dude went to MIT, man. The dude went to MIT.
Dude,
he's not stupid.
Dude, there are smart, brilliant geniuses that make dumbass moves.
So you know what I said the other show? Was it right? Sometimes right. You can be smart or you can be right. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, Chris.
Understand.
Chris, let me help you, Chris.
Well be, as I'm about to say, it could very well be possible also that it was more so him defending the people that he knew over there personally and was trying to lend a voice to throw an innuendo behind them, to throw a gust of wind behind their wings. That's very well possible. But guess what? It blew up. And my thing is, he apologized. That don't mean it was sincere. That don't mean he meant it. But I'm just talking about he did the CYA, the customary CYA. That's what he did. Meanwhile, LeBron has spoke up and basically questioned Adam Silver as to why this guy still have his job. Because if one of the players had done that,
good point.
Sure, they would be fired if a player done that in the NBA. And Adam Silver and also LeBron asking, wait a minute, this stuff, and I'm paraphrasing, but he basically asked Adam Silver, wait a minute, the GM makes a statement. The commissioner makes another statement. We're in the air 14 and a half hours over the Pacific, going over multiple time zones with no Wi-Fi. And we don't even realize what didn't happen until the plane lands. So why do we, the players, have to go and step up to the podium and address your mess? That was one of the things that he challenged the commissioner on. And he meaning LeBron James. So the thing I think and that's what, because people start to feel some kind of way. That was, you realize you land the plane, you're in a different country, and you didn't go to the Lakers and the Nets didn't go to Japan. The Rockets were in Japan. They weren't in China. So James Harden and all of them, it was business as usual in Japan. Now don't get it twisted. They felt some ramifications because the apparel from the Rockets were taken offline in China. They were a lot of the billboards that featured even Yao Ming's. Some of his billboards were taken down or dismantled as a result. But the thing is, it's one of those things that hey man, it could be great teaching points about the ramifications, and that's the word that LeBron used. Yes, and the consequences. Everybody has them if you're going to sacrifice or go out on a limb to support any cause that you truly believe in. Now, is it worth? How much is it worth to you? How much is it worth to you?
Jimmy, if you were over there in China and somebody did that, how would you see? People that on the Facebook feed, I say, look, have you ever been to Russia and China? I've been to both. If you're over there, you're halfway scared, I'm telling you. But I'm telling you, move around freely.
No, Chris.
It's not like you think.
Once you step off that plane and go to customs, you know where you are.
Oh, they tell you.
You know where you are, and Daryl Morey has been over there before. See, y'all don't understand. Jimmy just said something. Well, the NBA put out, the ESPN put out a memo. The NBA put out the same memo. Players, USA Basketball, FIBA Basketball, when you go over to these communist countries, they give a guideline what happens over there. So you telling me that Daryl Morey, an executive, a top executive with one of the most storied franchise that do business over in China, he don't know the protocol? And Anthony Weston said maybe he was trying to impress his friend. I don't know what he was thinking about, but I know he couldn't have thought. And all LeBron said, man, could you have waited till we got out of there? And he gets all the flack because he said, man, could you have waited? So it's ramifications for me saying, could you have waited? Could your timing have been a little bit better? Then they said, well, we ain't talking about that part. They called him uneducated. Well, maybe he could have said Daryl Morey was naive to the situation. Maybe he could have said those words. But all I'm telling y'all, we needed a cooler head over there because Kyrie Irving didn't want to play. I repeat, Kyrie Irving was ready to pack up and go home.
Let's put the microphone in front of his mouth and see what he say.
Yeah,
come on,
he was ready to go home. LeBron said, man, let me tell y'all something, man.
I'm here to hoop.
I came over here to hoop. I love to hoop. And it's a bad, and hold on, I ain't tell y'all this. Did I tell you? They showed up and was practicing. But this is why LeBron probably mad. They showed up, they was practicing for 30 minutes, y'all. Y'all got to hear this. They out there getting loose. 30 minutes of practice. Guess what? They come in and told him, y'all got to get out of here. Y'all got to get off the floor. Get out of here. They had to go scramble and find somewhere else to practice. Now, this is a guy who loved practice, who loved to hoop. He got put out of the gym, so guess what they could do? Tear off sand the floor from the sponsors. Dude, these people were going, they were staying at the Ritz-Carlton. I know that's what some of the talking heads say. They was over there in a Shangri-La, in suites. But man, you're in a convent. Until you go over there, y'all ain't gonna understand the fear that's being over there. It's just, some people are, now hold up, y'all. No. I had fun. They took care of me while I was there. But I made sure I didn't do nothing wrong because I wanted to be able to get back. Once you go through them customs, you understand what I'm talking about. Over there.
Just like if you were here in the 50s and the 30s and the 20s and you took your butt to Alabama and you start running your mouth about, man, I can't believe y'all treat people a certain way. Watch what would have happened to you. Man, people are killing me the way they talking about this. They forget what country they grew up in, or a lot of them don't know the country they grew up in. So before you start throwing stones,
that's all I'm saying.
Know where you grew up and know the history of where we have evolved as a country before you start talking about what's so bad over there. That's all I'm saying.
That's great. And I wanted to really add, Chris, this guy named Gary Pomerantz. He's from Atlanta. I don't know if he's from Atlanta, but he wrote a book called Where Peachtree meets Sweet Auburn. So it's a story of the history of Atlanta. And it was a time in Atlanta when Mayor Hartsfield, if you ever went to Atlanta, Hartsfield International Airport, it was a mayor. He first commissioned the first 8 police officers. I think it's in 1940, 47, around 48. Y'all, it's one of those 2 years. He commissioned the first 8. It was 8 of them, Jimmy. All right, guess what? 95% of the police force in Atlanta was Ku Klux KKK members. 95%. So guess what that? These 8 guys, Chris Walker, could not go and work out of the precinct. They had to work out of the YMCA. They had to go to the YMCA, put on their uniforms, and they only got a nightstick, a whistle, and a flashlight, and a badge. It's the only thing they got. They could not arrest any white citizen, even if they saw them doing something wrong, Chris Walker.
We talking about China.
Yeah, we talking about China.
Come on, man.
Chris, they could not, if even, they couldn't. And they could not, they were forbidden to drive or ride in a police car. That's in, some of those same people are living right now in the United States, man. It's 1947. So when we talk, and I understand, believe you me, I love that injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. I understand that. I believe you me, I learned more about Hong Kong in the last 2 weeks than I ever thought I'd learn about Hong Kong. Okay? But I'm not a geopolitician, and that's not my job. I can't stop that. All I'm saying is, when a young man who've done so much, and our black people are so quick, and I'm always calling Chris a brunsexual, but you can call me what you want right now, because I felt him when he was at that podium. Whatever he said was not gonna be right to y'all. I know it. Somebody was gonna have whatever he said, and all he said was, I keep reading this over and over. Man, could you have waited till we got out of there? You put us in harm's way. Y'all over here in America, y'all think it's all cool over there in China. No, it's not, y'all. The government rules. The government, hold up, Chris. And how you say I'm gonna land the plane with this one, Chris. Chris, as they were leaving, it took, on their private chartered flight, it took them an hour to get through customs, the players. Guess what? They sit on the tarmac for 3 more hours. No, excuse me, 2 more hours. So they got held up for 1, sat on the tarmac, and guess what? They said it was a tropical storm alert. So it was a joke on the airplane saying, well, maybe, they control the government. Maybe they control the weather too. That's what was going on over there. That's why when you get back, those guys got feelings too. Just because they got millions of dollars, don't think they don't have feelings, y'all. Come on, man.
Got a magic question for you. Remember during the meeting, go back to the time when you said when Kyrie and LeBron said, man, I just came to play some ball. Mm-hmm. During that time, that was a time, according to the timeline, that Adam Silver, he had just met with the players from both of those teams, right? So he leaves to go and brief his people, and those 2 teams now, the players are in the room now with the meeting after the meeting. So during that moment, that's the platform for which guys were like, man, what the hell going on? What we do? Because realize now, these guys were pretty much fresh off the plane, both teams, and really trying to find out what the hell going on, because in China, a lot of your details are restricted. The only thing you know is what you're getting right there in the confines of face-to-face and whatnot. So LeBron, I'm sorry, Kyrie says, Motion said, man, look, man, you know, you just imagine Kyrie, because Kyrie is he's
different.
Kyrie is the guy that brings positive energy into every room he walks in. You just feel that. In the last couple of years, it's been something going on with Kyrie. Like every time you look at him, it's like, I mean, it's Uncle Drew more than Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie is like, man, we ought to just, man, the hell with this shit. We ought to just, we'll not play. Take a stance. And then LeBron trumped him by saying, man, listen, I came to ball. We done came this far. We over here now. I came to play. You know, I mean, no matter what his reasons behind it, but had LeBron co-signed that motion from Kyrie Irving, man, you think they're burning jerseys right now. Now, I'm talking over there, or hate him over there. This whole thing would have took a whole different plight for the players. A whole different angle this would have been. And
what whole different angle, why?
Well, because now you're really messing with the pockets of China and the NBA. China was already, they were selectively restricting the NBA at the time. That's why they cut off the press conferences, because they didn't want any player to come out and co-sign Daryl Morey or Adam Silver, not on their soil. So if you're going to do it, you're going to do it on your own soil. You ain't going to come over here in China. So that's why a lot of people, they're looking back on it, we probably wondered why there was no press conference. That was it, because China made the decision, which was, if you think on based along the things that the decisions that they made, that made sense. You're not going to do it while you're not going to come and step your boots on our soil and talk bad about us. Now, Daryl Morey wasn't in China when he made the tweet. But I'm just saying, so back to LeBron, if LeBron what if those guys, in other words, those guys had the opportunity to not play. More of them wanted to play, which is not, I mean, I'm saying it's good or bad, but that was a decision they made to do. They made the play. They wanted the ball. They played not one game, but 2 games. And in playing, they didn't know. Remember now, we had reports because Rachel Nichols and Scottie Pippen and Robert Horry and all those guys were there, part of the TV show, The Jump. They were there, and their show was restricted and had been canceled from being film broadcast, not on Chinese soil. So they had to scramble around and get stuff together. Nobody knew if it really was going to be a game until the night before the game, that they knew it was actually going to be a game the next day. This was so I understand that how LeBron, when he goes and he mentions the part about wait a week later, like, you do what you want to do, man. Get me out, me and my family. Because a lot of those guys had their families over there. A lot of those guys just didn't go by themselves. A lot of people had their family. A lot of people went with their kids went. The ones that, you know, some people, I'm quite sure everybody's kids didn't have to go to school that week or got exemptions from going. Somebody probably took their kids or their spouse or their mother or their father. But it's one of those things now, looking forward, pay attention to the relations between the NBA and China moving forward now. That's going to be the thing interesting, because because now, how do you recoup some of these losses? And that's and in business, once you have a losing quarter, you try to make up for it.
They will come back. They said when Ray Rice did what he did, the NFL's this. When the people started kneeling, no one's going to listen. They still feeling those NFL. I watched the NFL on Sunday. Everybody got a jersey on. I watched the Chiefs games. Everybody wearing red. It will pass like everything else, right? But I'm going to read what Larry Shepard said. He says, Larry Shepard says, we talk about oppression in China because of what we have come through. Suppose no one would have said anything about our past situation because of the history of their country. This position is ludicrous. Evil is evil, and we should be exposed. I want to know who was talking about what was going on over here when it was happening here. I want to know where all these people are getting this these epiphanies and this information from about the oppression in America and who was talking about what was going on here and how outside influences internationally changed the way we did things here. That was a movement from within this country. It had nothing to do internationally. I'm sorry, Rosa Parks, she is from where? Martin Luther King is from where? I mean, I'm laughing at some of these comments by our own people.
You know what kills me, Chris?
It's amazing.
Chris, some people can sit on here and we've been talking for, let me look, for an hour and 14 minutes. And somebody can sit up here and say a comment like that. We're not saying what they not over there doing in Hong Kong is wrong. I don't think nobody on this panel said this. But what I do understand, our values cannot be for sale. We cannot put our culture, Chris, inside of our economy. And that is what we're risk doing. It's not just the NBA. I'm watching China. Look, Chris Walker, Jimmy Hicks, we are playing the short game. China is playing the long game. And they're cheating at the long game. I'm going to explain to you later. We're focused on money. And they're focused on wealth and power. You got to understand, they don't even have the might that we have over here. We're supposed to be smart. You don't make money, Chris, when you got a chance to build wealth. We should be standing up for the things that make America the greatest, the freedoms and the values. I stand up for that. But what about the countries that do business in other countries? Trump, your best friend, talked about the wonders of Saudi Arabia because they spent hundreds of millions of dollars buying defense products from us. But I don't hear nobody talking about that. But if China says you have to apologize or we won't run your games, what do you do, Chris? China, hey, when you stop bullying, you know how you're in the playground? Only way you stop a bully, you got to step up to a bully. It's the only way. Or he gonna keep bullying. He's gonna keep bullying. When you think it over, they played their hand. I think that we'll be walking. I think you know how we walk this thing back gingerly. I think that China gonna walk this. Cause let me tell you something. China need us, Chris. I told you the other day. We have to have a balanced view. We have to stand up for our own values. China, let me tell you something. China need us just as much as we need them.
That's right.
I'm just going to let you know that. And a lot of people don't know that. I know we got to move on, but China need us. And Silver had a lot of interest. Adam Silver, that's why I ain't mad at him. That's why I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at LeBron. They got a lot of interest that they got to align. See, not being you know what I learned about people, Jimmy, Chris? A lot of people hate rich people until they become rich.
Preach. Preach.
But see, after you bought your first Ferrari, you know you can talk. You can speak up. You got. But Silver, he made a balanced statement, and he was trying. See, these guys doing business, and we done got caught up in a geopolitical war. That if we want to help Hong Kong, y'all help Hong Kong. It's all right. But don't get mad at LeBron because he make a statement, especially us. He got enough people mad at him. So what's the next topic?
I'm going to go to the Facebook feed and we're going to move on after this.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan says, until Nike and all of the multi-billion American corporations pull out of China, why are we even tripping over their atrocities? We are ultimately consumers of Chinese products.
Yes. This computer I'm on, broadcasting this program, it's from China, made in China. This here, this iPhone that every last one of y'all got, and them Nikes, every one of y'all got, they're made over there. So if you mad, if you so conscious now, I'm sorry, Erskine, I didn't mean to sound like I'm on NBC. But
I don't have Erskine on my feed.
I had to study y'all this stuff, man. I didn't know about this stuff that's happening over here. I'm just going to tell y'all. I had to educate myself. So, Jimmy, what's the next topic, man? What's the next topic?
Well,
They gonna
well,
get me
in
to preach.
in the boom boom room, we have a couple of additional comments before we move on, and I want to give Chris a chance because I think
Chris.
Chris made a statement, and I think that it was misinterpreted. Chris said that about the country speaking up. He says, "Name me a country that spoke up against back in the old days against slavery." So Larry Shepard responds. He asked you, Chris, why do you believe that no one from another country spoke out against slavery or oppression?
My point is this: it's again, we talk about rangeless. We talk about nobody. My old coach used to always have a saying called "always and never," always and never. Something. Don't ever say nothing never would happen, and don't they say something always happens. My point is, it didn't change because of pressure from the outside, Larry. It changed. You got to understand this. If you look at any type of dynasty, they all crumble from within. Change comes from within.
Yeah.
We're not changing China from the outside, guys.
You're right. That's a great
It
point.
changed from within.
Preach,
Don't
young
forget
fella.
what we did as Black people and the punishment that we took, right? To even be on Facebook, to when I go get in my car and worry about when a cop comes from behind me, my ancestors and people that preceded me couldn't do that in Georgia. They thought their life was going to be, and the water was going to get cut off that night. So y'all need to understand where the hell we are when you're making these statements on Facebook. And some of y'all need to stop reading American history and start reading African American history, because guess what? Those pages are stuck together. They don't teach that no more.
Hey, Jimmy.
Understand where we come
Jimmy,
from.
I got something that's going to take us right on out of this to a commercial. We're going to take a break. But Bill Clinton said something. I never thought I'd be quoting Bill Clinton. He said, it's hard to get somebody to agree with the truth when the lie is paying their paycheck.
Mark your calendars for Saturday, November the 16th at the M.O. Campbell Center located in Houston, Texas. That's the RCS Sports season opener, a day filled of high school boys basketball starting at 9:30 a.m. when Aldine Nimitz takes on Houston Christian, followed by Aldine Davis versus Sam Houston. Langham Creek will take on Summer Creek. Westbury Christian versus Port Arthur Memorial. How about Dickinson versus Beaumont United? That's a rematch of the Super 16 Extravaganza Championship game. Martin Ranch will take on Jack Yates at 5 p.m., followed by Hightower versus Cypress Creek. And the finale, Shadow Creek versus Episcopal at 8 p.m. That's the RCS Sports season opener, powered by Boost Mobile. A limited amount of $5 tickets are on sale now at all participating schools. That's the season opener, Saturday, November the 16th.
We're playing basketball. We're loving basketball.
Hey, Chris, you ain't gonna believe this. Anthony Weston agreed with me that last Bill Clinton quote.
Listen, he don't agree with nobody.
He don't
agree with you.
Hey,
oh my God.
Hey, in case you didn't hear, so Jimmy took a break. I got it from Bill Clinton. It's one Robert Hatter. He said it's hard to get somebody to agree with the truth when a lie is paying their paycheck. Oh my goodness. That's why Chris Walker had to side with them universities.
Man, oh man, please don't get me started on that. Hey man, I got a question for the Boomer Room. Is anybody gonna pick up Melo? Is anybody gonna pick up Carmelo?
Hey Chris,
Lord,
forget
is
Melo.
anybody gonna
Chris, let's talk about what my young. You know what I'm mad about y'all? I text y'all last night. You know what? I'm gonna find me some more people who on the Boom Boom Room. We're gonna get on our own group chat. These are the two sorriest.
What do we do?
Hey, I can give them one of the most profound comments. Jimmy will tell you I plagiarized it. Chris just won't read it. And I give these guys some of the most profound statements. I said last night, man, Carson Edwards is killing.
Oh.
Do you know not one of them guys replied and said
that's not true?
No, you didn't.
Because somebody said it on the Boom Boom Room. I said we're gonna get to it later.
Forget
We're
the
gonna
Boom
get to
Boom
it
Room.
later.
I'm talking. Hey, let me vent. I'm talking about. I'm gonna find me some Todd Holmes. I'm gonna find me somebody, Anthony Weston. I'm gonna get on a group text with them. Hey, Anthony, hold up.
Anthony gonna wear you out. You talking about Anthony Weston? Anthony Weston gonna wear you out. You gotta get somebody else.
Hold up. I got a bone to pick with Anthony Weston.
He's an old Negro spiritual.
Hey,
you don't
Chris,
want to mess with him.
Hey, before we talk about Carson, Anthony Weston, could you explain to me and everybody what was that? You put a picture up with the white coach of Ohio State and all the black players behind him. And he said, what does this picture say?
I'm not commenting on that.
What does it say, Anthony Weston?
I'm not commenting on that.
But Jimmy, what you think about Carson? 8 threes in the third quarter? From Houston, Texas? From Humble? From Atascocita?
Listen, man, you know what Carson Edwards is about to do? He's gonna make everybody hate Chris Walker. Because every dude on the 6 foot or 6'1" gonna go all of a sudden go out there and make Jimmy Hicks rich again. He gonna make Alan Branch, they're gonna start writing checks all over again. And they're going to start spending them $2,000. They're about to make these trainers rich to make them people think that there's another Carson Edwards walking around in the city of Houston and in the city of Dallas. That's all that's about to happen. I'm about to open me a training spot. And you know what I'm going to say, Jimmy? If you're 6'1" and over, you can't come. You got to be 6 foot and under because I'm going to have a slew of them coming through. And I'm going to be, hey, Haddon, I'm going to give you one of them Ferraris you're talking about.
Hush your mouth. Hey, Jimmy, I want to add this one. I want you to comment on this one too, Jim. Because I love Favre's brother in Dallas, Coach Favre. He said, good morning. Let me scroll down my timeline and see who's taking the credit for Carson's development and who said I had him in the gym since 5. So he tweeted that last night, Chris. So he expected for you to say that today.
Ooh.
Jimmy, you muted.
Ooh, what Jimmy muted? You know why I
muted?
muted? Every time we talk about it and taking that scouting service or writing them checks when Jimmy put that false information out there.
No, he just muted himself. When he do those rankings, when Jimmy start running from them rankings, you already know what time it is. Because I'm about to ask Jimmy, where do you have Carson Edwards ranked? No, Jimmy, I got a better one, Jimmy. Is Jimmy there? We lost him. I want Jimmy to answer this. Jimmy, did you leave us?
Come on.
He hit the wrong button.
Oh, man, when he comes back. Okay. I want Jimmy to answer when they were in the 8th grade, because Carson was part of a little group that was pretty good. Where did he have him ranked as a 9th grader?
He's a hater.
And where did no, this is good information. And where did he have him ranked when he came when he came out the 12th grade? And because I remember Carson was a guy that played for the Defenders, didn't he? I think he played for the Defenders, if I'm not mistaken, but only Jimmy can answer this. And then he switched to the Hoops. But only Jimmy can answer that. So
let me try. Let me see, can I hit him back? Let me try him again, and let me see, can I add him? Let me see, can I add him, and see, can he come back? He just hit the wrong button.
Nah, I'm with Woods. He running. Jimmy running. That's what he running for me because I was about to tear him up. Exactly. No, I had it. I'm gonna open up shop.
Okay.
I'm gonna call it the shrimp training facilities. All the shrimps out there that think they can be Carson Edwards. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have me a private plane in like a week.
Hey.
Because it ain't no shortage of dreamers out there.
You bet.
That's 5'10" and under thinking they can play in the NBA.
You better read. You better read this book by Malcolm Gladwell called The Outlier.
Oh, I love that book.
That's Carson. Carson Edwards is an outlier.
Great book.
He's an outlier, Chris. He's not the norm, baby boy.
That's a great book. There's certain parts of that book I don't agree with. I would encourage people to read that. Malcolm Gladwell book. He's a guy who has a bunch of books out there that definitely motivational. Talk about Bill Gates and why Bill Gates became who he became, and other people, and how hockey players, how they become. You know what's funny about that? That people love, especially they got the little ones. They'll talk about ages and how kids play in certain age groups. Right? They prosper better than the younger kids, the older ones. Based on where you're born, you are in a situation in hockey where you prosper more. It's actually an interesting read. I think everybody should read that, and it will be great for them to get some context. If you're a reader, and if you're not a reader, it's something called audiobooks. You guys listening to Dr. Dre and you're listening to Snoop and everybody else, listen to some audio books like Hatter and myself does. And Jimmy only listens to the propaganda. But listen to some audio books, maybe you get some knowledge. You don't have the time to sit there and read. But Jimmy, I'm talking about Carson Edwards. Do you remember where you had him ranked as an 8th grader? And then where you had him ranked as a 12th grader and his development over that time? And maybe there's a couple stories of how people didn't think that he was going to be what he is. And he picked the right school. That's the other thing Carson did. Shout out to Jared Scales. Shout out to Jared Scales in Purdue. And Triple J's. He picked the right school that allowed him to use his skill set because it wasn't popular when he picked Purdue.
No, it wasn't
popular.
It wasn't.
And he picked the right school.
Oh, Jimmy done went and got a magazine. Hold up. I'll put you back. What the hell is that? We can't see it, Jimmy.
He got the cheat sheets. He got he's on the screen. We got to get him on the screen.
Okay.
Pull that cheat sheet.
He's on the screen. He's on the screen. Jimmy. Okay, we see it. You're blocking yourself out the camera though. But just tell us where. Don't put that on there. Tell us where. Tell us where.
Yeah, I know. I see now. I see what happened.
Okay.
I'm looking up from the cheat sheet books from back Carson Edwards when he was a freshman. So I'm gonna find it out, and I'm gonna let guys know where he was ranked. I see the 12th grade, and you guys know in 12th grade he was on the front cover of the magazine. So by the time going into his senior year, Carson Edwards was indeed deemed one of the top 4 or 5 players in the area. It was De'Aaron Fox, Carson Edwards. At that time, and guess what? It's still time and it still has a chance. But J.J. Caldwell was balling back as going into. He had just came off a performance in 11th grade when he played against Emmanuel Mudiay and those guys from Prime Prep and put on a show with that Satch homeschool program. And who else? Jared Vanderbilt was an 11th grader at the time. He was on the front cover of that magazine.
Who played on the hoops with Carson that year?
De'Aaron Fox.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Chris.
Same year?
Yes.
Ooh.
So De'Aaron Fox stole a lot of the thunder. And it wasn't just Fox. It was somebody else. I'm looking back for 2014 or 2013 to see when and here goes 14 right here. Let's see what I had in 2014. I mean that I like that. Who asked that question? Chris?
Chris did. Chris asked that question.
I asked that question because it's good for people to know as the years goes on where you had him started as a young kid.
All eggs don't hatch on the same day, Chris. That kid there, I thought he was going to be a great football player. And that he's on the cover. Hold up, y'all. Bob just sent it to me. I'm gonna pull up the cover of that magazine. This the magazine that pissed Jimmy off.
Had to put that up. Had to put that up. And Troy Bieniemy says Emmanuel Mudiay was not on that team. JJ put it on Trayvon Duval.
Trey Duval.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and Mudiay played against Winslow. Mudiay and Winslow was the showdown. You're right.
Hey, I got a question for y'all while y'all figuring out maybe you can explain this to me.
Okay.
I had a parent call me, and I love for the Boomer Room to chime in, and Jimmy as well. They said, well, Chris, what do I do? My son is an 8th grader. I think he's pretty good, right? Mm-hmm. Should I send him away to go to school? Or can he become the player he needs to become, staying here in Houston and not transferring all around the country, go to his high school, play on the AAU team here, stay with his high school team, and still become a high-level player? Hatter, what do you think about that?
I think he can.
Why do people think they got to go on? I'm sorry. I'll let you answer.
De'Aaron Fox, you just gave a great example. De'Aaron Fox, Carson Edwards, Wesley Awundo. Y'all got to realize you don't have to go out of town. You can make it from right here in Houston, Texas. Let me tell you something. This, contrary to some other people's tweets, now This is fertile soil. Texas is fertile soil for all the country. Now, Houston, because of a lot of people who've gotten into this, trying to get in this business, a lot of people who've gotten this business lately, has kind of given this industry a black eye in this area. And a lot of coaches say it's hard recruiting this area. You know, it's a coach called me one day. Somebody called me one day and said, Hatter, coaches don't even know who to call a certain kid about. And I said, wow. He said, because everybody else is out here speaking, saying they got the kid and they got the clout on the kid. So, y'all, what we're doing, all of these people, the media people and all of it, let me tell you something. Get y'all hustle on. But, man, stay out the way. That's my thing. Stay in your lane and stay out the way. Guess what? These coaches call me all the time. And get what I told her to do. I said, man, don't give these coaches my number. I only want to talk to coaches I know. You know why, Jimmy? You know why? That's not my lane. I'm going to tell them folks, you better talk to Jimmy. You better talk. My favorite saying is talk to Jimmy. Jimmy ain't wrote me no check. I've been doing this for about 20 years. He ain't wrote me no check for it, but it's okay. But guess what? I know if I get the kid with Jimmy, he gonna put the coach with Jimmy. He gonna put the coach in the right position because he's done it before. So what happens, parents? And I just found this out a couple weeks ago. Guy called me and said, Mr. Hatter, may please call these parent and this kid and tell them coaches don't know who to talk to when it comes to you. We got people in Houston, and we feel that they feel because they are supposed to be the gatekeepers in Houston. They got people in Houston saying that you need to talk to them. Could I give them your number? I said, no, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to relay this to the parent and the player and let them talk to these coaches. Them when they call them coaches, define lady mamas and daddies. And this is a public service announcement. Define when coaches call you and you reach out to them because they talk to each other. Define who these people need to talk to. Okay, define it. If it is one of these outside guys, define that guy so they won't confuse him with the other guy. So define. I'm telling you, this happened to me about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I just said, no, don't call me. That ain't what I do. Call the mama and the son. So Jimmy, if you want to comment on any of that, I forgot to tell you about that, Jimmy. And Chris, I forgot to tell y'all about. That's what happened to me. Now,
I mean, Chris being a career college coach at the Division I level, knows greater than any of us from the other side of the fence. Mm-hmm. And I'll take this one easily before Chris, because I know Chris he's gonna sharpen it from the other side of the fence. Well, a lot of college coaches in the area are more accessible and easier to get in contact with nowadays, because on every website of the school, the email address is published. Some schools even have the phone number to the office published of that coach on their websites. Well, that means now they're accessible. Back in the days, even though internet was very well running 15 years ago, 10 years ago, every school didn't have that information just right there. So that means anybody can get in touch with these guys. And what happens is, if you don't normally recruit an area, and if a guy calls you and tells you that there's a 7-footer that just moved into Houston, most coaches aren't at the luxury where they can ignore that. That's the thing that's to a fault. So they got to follow through on that lead. And following through on that lead takes time. If you don't already have your resources and your seeds firmly planted in an area. you will get taken on a wild goose chase. And that's where we are now, because a lot of guys really think that a lot of college coaches are their friends. A lot of guys in
Why
the
you hurting them, man? Why you hurting them? Don't tell them the truth. Don't tell them the truth.
And let me tell you, and it's kind of crazy. A lot of guys think that college coaches, a lot of guys in the recruiting service business, or the video business, think that these college coaches, just because they sent you a check, that they're your friend. Well, let me define how signs, if you could tell if that guy is really your friend. First, let that college coach don't cut your ass a check next year. Let you still call him and like ain't nothing ever happened. Let you still go spend your time to go and frolic him around the city or from gym to gym, and he ain't paid you no check. Let you go and pick up the tab for a college coach.
Oh, hell no.
See, this is what I'm trying to tell you. But if your friend, let you go and invite him, or he invite you to his son's wedding, or to his daughter's wedding, or to their graduation, or to his house for the cookout after he hadn't cut you a check, and see if you still go. See, money. You have a relationship with a lot of coaches. You have friendships. And that's where you just met, some of these guys just met these coaches 2-3 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. And you thinking that you guys are just lifelong chums. This is my guy because he answered your phone on the first ring. That's because you might have, you can help him get a pay raise. That's why. Are you freaking serious? That's the part I mean,
you're giving them the game, man. You're gonna listen, man. It's like the summer coaches and the parents. If we don't tell them the truth, we allow these clowns to keep going out here doing silly crap to people. That's why the chop shop is invaluable. But the Jimmy, just like I asked you when you went to basic, where were you went when you had that deal with Ricky Winslow and those guys? And I said, Jimmy, how many people showed up? And I remember when Jimmy used to put that event on over at I can't remember the school, used to do the event where you did the free clinic for the parents to come and learn about the recruiting process. And I'd be like, I cannot believe that all these parents spent all that money, Hatter, on all those sneakers and all those recruiting services and all those Vegas trips. And here it is, you got a chance to talk to college coaches for free, and they don't show up. But they're going to keep spending money on those sneakers. And they're going to keep spending money on those scout services. And they're going to keep spending money on those trips. And they don't realize the most valuable information they can get is what? Free. Blows my mind. That's why I say people don't want to hear the truth, man. But Jimmy, keep going. They don't want to hear it, but keep going.
But Jimmy,
I mean, and that's what I'm telling you. You guys, I'm explaining to you guys, and here's what the thing. And a lot of people watching right now may not understand the influence. A lot of times people are in position to whereas they're lobbying and marketing your kids, and you without your consent. That's that's really big.
Like kids' names showing up on flyers of events out of town that the kid and the mama don't even know, but this kid. Then you call the event operator and they tell you so-and-so hooked me up, said he knew the kid. Man,
and usually, Hatter, they have to sign a release, Hatter. Usually they have to sign a release to be able to use people's images.
Yeah, but these
they don't do that stuff.
Dude, let me tell you something. I'm telling y'all, that part of the game that I learned a month ago, I'm telling y'all, parents, Jimmy, you can speak on that. I really want you to speak on that because when college coaches around the country saying, I'm trying to recruit and I want to recruit this kid, but it's several people saying that I have to go through them. And it's a lie. So all I did, I said, man, let me tell you something. And I'm going to put you straight in contact. And you tell anybody If you don't talk to this mom, this kid, this family, you don't have a chance. So if anybody else that ain't, that's all I say. I didn't know, Jimmy, I promise you. I called you after I said what I said. I just told you what was going on. But it's a lot of this stuff got going on out here, and I guess I don't know why these people latch their name, especially when you don't have no clout over the kid. These guys lying. They don't have no clout with the kid. They got association with a kid, but they have no clout with the people. So it's bad out there, man. It's bad.
I mean, it's so as a parent, I strongly encourage you guys, if you're a relative of a player out there, or prospect, should I say, then why don't you go and approach that individual who has inserted himself into the life of you and your family with the common goal of helping your son achieve a free college education by using the sport, whichever they participate in. Sit that grown person down one-on-one and ask them, what are you trying to get out of this? That's one thing you ask. You ask them a bunch of things. I'm strongly telling them, give them a copy of their driver's license. Take the driver's license, make a copy on your copier or your printer at home, give them back, just like because you're giving them your kid. And you don't even know that person's address in many terms. They might have a P.O. box where you send it. You got direct deposit. You don't know where this guy lives. You don't know what. So learn. Take their driver's license.
You're giving them the game now because you know what that would require, Jimmy? That would require you asking tough questions. And I don't know if we're pivoting in this, but about the cap, you sent us something earlier about the cap deal and how many coaches have actually signed it. Remember, we started the week Hatter talking about Ramogi, and I don't know if Hatter said something about Bill Self, but I want to know, because Ramogi couldn't answer, which I thought was a little funny. Like, bro, I hear what y'all saying, but how many people y'all get to sign it though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Jimmy, what I'm saying, you answer those questions to those AAU. Those parents are afraid to ask that questions, those pertinent questions, because they're afraid they're gonna lose out on something. And that's why things don't change, because we're afraid that we're gonna lose out on something, Hatter. So we don't do something that actually may be something that may help us in the end. Because whatever you're afraid of losing out on, trust me, it's gonna come back to haunt you. If you don't find out where that person lives, all of a sudden there may be something doing that relationship. You were like, man, I did not know that dude did not live in this certain area. Man, that dude was renting cars and picking my kids up. He don't have his own car. You mean to tell me that college coach did X, Y, and Z, and I didn't even ask the question? You mean to tell me, as Hatter said, or Ramogi said, this dude had already signed a deal and he knew he was leaving and he still signed my baby to a scholarship? Afraid to ask questions, Hatter. When it's your baby. If we were buying a house, we wouldn't be afraid. If we was buying a car, we wouldn't be afraid.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying, Jimmy?
Hello.
But when it comes to our kids, we're afraid to ask. Unbelievable, man.
I mean, and why is that though? That's the thing. Why? It's your kid. It's your kid. Your name's on his birth certificate or her birth certificate. And my thing is, I would go a step further. In these days, you see, as a parent, you have all the reason you have all of the justification to not just require, when that guy walked the door, let me see a picture of your driver's license. And I said, go make a copy. Hell, damn that. Take a screenshot with your cell phone. That way you got a picture of their driver's license. Ask that guy to supply you with with his social security number. Now, you can go get a background check on it. Mm-hmm. See now? They got software on the internet, $5, $7. And it's worth it.
But you know what? If you got to go through all that, don't deal with them Negroes anyway.
Yeah, but
Hatter, you should. Hatter, no, Hatter, I don't know. Hatter.
You don't have to deal with everybody. You don't have to deal with everybody.
But Hatter, what if you play for the Iowa Barnstormers and you didn't know this dude could have had a prior on his arrest for doing something funny with some kids, and if you'd have ran a background check, you'd have been like, you know what, this dude's a sexual predator. and I didn't know it. And I let my kid play with this dude.
And you know what happened?
That's what I'm saying.
And you know what? And I'm glad you posed that thought so that I'm glad Chris Walker responded, because I know it may have sounded like you guys in your mind, some of y'all minds, y'all probably were thinking about a lot of them black summer coaches. I was thinking about the white ones. I was thinking about the guy. I was thinking about him and a couple of other ones who have been indicted.
Hey, who's the guy from AAU that ran AAU? The guy in Memphis.
Jimmy Partner.
Bobby Dodd.
Bobby Dodd.
Bobby D. Dodd. Bobby D. Dodd.
And the D didn't stand for Dodd.
Come on, man.
Them little boys.
Oh my goodness.
So guys, understand, take control of your situation, because I understand there's no way to know. And you want to know who's I'm talking about at the first meeting. Go and do that. Because if a person has something to hide, guess what? I promise you, I'm not saying at all don't deal with them if they have a convicted felon. No. What I'm saying to you is you have the right to know. If you're cutting them a check, they're contract.
Jimmy,
I'm laughing.
Hold up, Bob just said something. I want him to clarify. I don't understand this one. He said, I see too many guys in the gym with no significant others, and for free, this is a red flag.
What does that mean?
Well, I don't understand that one, Bob. Just because the guy ain't got no significant other in the gym, what that mean?
Nah, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that one. Some people don't want you to know who their significant other is.
No, listen to what Sloan replied. Tell him, Jimmy.
What's Sloan?
He say, Anthony Favre, how do you know they don't have it?
I knew my boy was going to come back and say something. I knew my homeboy. PBS.
And so I have the results in from the question from earlier, and I went and I pulled up the cheat sheet books. 4 different years I pulled up from Carson Edwards, and of course a lot of people want to know, and that's what we do on the Chop Shop, is help supply you guys with intel and with the facts. What did I have Carson Edwards ranked from the 9th to the 12th grade?
Okay.
Well, I start with the 9th grade.
Okay.
And this is amazing. Now, hey, I can explain.
Man, tell the story, man.
Carson Edwards in the 9th grade, I had Carson Edwards ranked number 19.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's not bad.
Number 19 in the 9th grade. And Jimmy, he was number 19.
He was still playing football probably then. He was still playing football. He was still playing football at that time.
And that's what I'm getting to.
Keep going.
Now, going in the 10th grade, right? Mm-hmm. In the 10th grade, I dropped him a little bit because he played, dropped him a little bit.
Okay.
And
so 19 to what?
He went from 19 to 37.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now,
I ain't taking your service no damn more. Keep on going. I ain't watching your rankings no more. Keep on going. No, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing with you. Huh?
This was after the freshman year, going into the sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
Going into the sophomore year in the fall.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So now,
now
after that 10th grade season, Carson Edwards was number 4.
Mm.
Number 4. The 4 people he was behind De'Aaron Fox, J.J. Caldwell, Cameron McGusty, and then Carson Edwards.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that. Okay,
Jimmy,
what's the next year?
Jimmy, we about to have about 10 trainers hit the feed.
Jimmy,
they was responsible for taking from 37 to 4.
Jimmy, I would like to ask you what the hell he did from 37 to 4. Tell me what that kid did.
I mean, he had to have been balling. I mean, that summer, he had to have been balling out of control.
You know what, Jimmy? Freight was out there, and he on this thing ain't said nothing. He should be telling us everything about that. He was out there running his mouth, following him behind everywhere he went.
Man, Freight was the Gatorade catcher. He was a Gatorade catcher.
Yeah, I know he was a Gatorade catcher.
He had the Gatorade shirt on. He didn't have a polo on. He had a T-shirt on.
What he had the next year, Jimmy? What's the next?
And then the 12th grade, Carson Edwards.
What about the 11th grade?
No, I gave the 11th grade. He was number 4.
Okay, okay.
In 12th grade, he was number 3 behind De'Aaron Fox and J.J. Caldwell.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You had you did
this
good.
Was in the going into the 12th grade year. Going into the 12th grade year, he finished after the 12th grade year was over. I have that right here. He was number 2 behind De'Aaron Fox. So De'Aaron Fox was number 1. Carson Edwards was number 2. And one thing about it, my point is, I'm glad that was transparent.
Great
because
quiz.
remember, there are 4 of those booklets that are put out per year to the college coaching cheat sheet booklets. 4 per year, right? And once every quarter. So I pulled out 1 at random from each of the years.
Okay.
I didn't go and I didn't sift through and find the best one. I'm quite sure that number 37
might have been.
Sure, I had him higher in the course of that year, but I wanted to show that one for transparency of when you do better. And for a lot of guys out there that are ranked that low, it's a chance for you to pull back, push back.
Right.
You just got to perform. You got to perform. And so, and guess what? And I mean, you know what? Carson Edwards was in 19th grade. His brother was supposed to have been the basketball star. His brother was playing football. Then Carson both of them were playing football. His brother was at the Tascasita. Carson Edwards was just trying to find his way. But but you can look at his mom and his dad, the way that they raised him.
I love them.
And the way that he carried himself. And one of the things that gets me, guys, understand, I look at beyond the court. What can you remember a basketball, one of these student athletes, can you name something that you can remember him by that has anything to do with basketball?
I know what yours is. The time he came and helped with the back to school drive.
That's exactly. Bingo.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. So that's when you know you can remember somebody before they make it for something that they do off the court. That means they have a chance.
Great kid though.
Robert Hatter Jr.
Bucket getter
came to the back to school drive and rolled up his sleeves and passed out backpacks.
Him and Leon Gilmore.
You see, it don't mean you're going to make it. No, but that means you have a chance because something is in your heart that's being introduced for you to give back.
Or like you say, Jimmy, his concentric circle makes him understand the importance of giving back. That's where a lot of these kids get led astray, the circle that they're in. I don't want to get mad. I don't want to, have any animus toward a Derek. Who's the kid that went to TSU? Derek, the name escapes me.
Griffin.
The people that were surrounding him, right? Or the people, again, I don't want to chop up Vince Young, but the people that were surrounding him.
Great point.
Right? The people that are surrounding Robert Hatter that will smack Robert Hatter on his little head if he try to get out of line. And be like, man, we ain't doing that, man.
You know what's so unique, Jimmy? Jimmy, I didn't think about that because I didn't have to tell him to go. He wanted to go. He told Leon, they met up there. I don't know how that happened. But Jimmy, you know what's so unique and about the people, about the person the kid is? I went to visit him and I walked in his office building. I think I told Chris this. I walked in this office building, beautiful office building, and the people, the security and all the people, they said, "Hey, Mr. Hatter." And I looked around, these folks old enough to be his daddy. And I'm thinking they talking to me. They was talking to him. So what I did, after he went up there to his office, I went and walked around and went and found those guys. And one thing they told me that I'll never forget, they said he treats the janitor just as good and just as the same that he treats the CEO. And let me tell you something. Now that part there had me beaming with pride because you never know what your kid do when he leaves you. You follow me? I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know this instance was going to happen. But when you go and somebody say something like that, then and people tell me it ain't had nothing to do with me. I say it's the kind of kid he is. And like Jimmy said, when he was young, he wanted to go give. I didn't have to say, man, let's go up here. I'm going to go up here with Jimmy. He said he wanted to go give. So that's all. I just wanted to tell that story because there's some kids out here. Y'all got to understand, man. Chris said something great. Your circle. Let me tell you something. Every one of those owners, Michael Jordan, all these guys, they got a great circle. I'm in the summer one time, I was at Vegas. Roy Williams, I met Roy Williams. Roy Williams called his partners his posse. Roy Williams, the legendary coach at North Carolina. He said, hey, Robert, I want you to meet my posse, right? These my dudes I hang with. So when Roy went down there and do his thing, I'm sitting up there talking to his posse. One is the president of Pebble Beach. One is the president of this company. One is the president of this company. One is the CEO of this company. Successful people, y'all, remember, they surround themselves. They have a team. Why would an NBA player and an NFL player surround yourself with a good team? Your owner surrounded himself with a good team. So surround yourself with people. Chris, what they always said, Jimmy always, what was it, Chris? If you're the best player in that gym, you're in the wrong gym. If you're the smartest person in your circle, you're in the wrong circle.
That's right. Challenge yourself, man.
Challenge yourself. If that was my word for today. I know now, Jimmy, you can take over. Challenge yourself, y'all.
Yeah. So we go to Boomer Room, guys. We get ready to land the plane. Of course, I think Martin asked me whether I have Jared Vanderbilt. I had him. He was number one from the 9th grade to the 12th grade.
Wow.
Rooting to the tutor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. See, Jared Vanderbilt, you got to realize certain classes, I name you guys some of the players that were in Jared Vanderbilt's class. And I'm going to go to the senior year. That way it makes it when they had blossomed. Royce Ham, Fabian White, J.J. Chandler, Maxwell Evans, Jace Febers. You know, those were pretty much the top 5 guys after Jared Vanderbilt. So Fabian White, you know, was great at Atascocita, doing great at the University of Houston right now. Royce Ham has played his way back into favor at University of Texas and should have a good role there this season. J.J. Chandler, he's at A&M and is a starter. You know, Maxwell Evans, we'll see if this year, his senior year,
man, I thought he was gonna have a better career at Vanderbilt.
I don't care about no career. That man getting that back. What you tell your guys at Cal? Man,
What?
you got
I understand that, but I thought he was gonna have a better career. I really did.
I did too.
Basketball, a funny game.
I did, but you know what? Remember now, they brought the boy in last year, and he could not play before him because that was a one mission. That was to get him to the NBA. The one and done kid, the guard. What is his name?
Darius Garland. Darius Garland.
Darius Garland.
Yeah.
He got hurt.
So Jace Febres, he's has a solid role in Texas. So these guys are all doing well. And Jared Vanderbilt, guess what? I really thought as a rookie that they were going to two-way Jared. Jared sit there on that for the Denver Nuggets the whole season. He stayed up. That showed promise.
With Jimmy, he stayed up because he was injured anyway.
He's injured, yeah.
He couldn't play. You ain't gonna send him down there where he don't have the best. You got to have him around the best doctors to rehab him. He had to be around the team.
I'm talking about when he came back. When he made his debut.
Yeah.
They kept him up.
Yeah,
he worked his way back up.
He's gonna be up. He's not going back. He's a heck of a talent, man.
Guess who else they kept up? Michael Porter Jr. They kept him up. So those kind of talents, man. You 6'10", 6'9", can handle the ball that way. He ain't. Yeah.
Say that again. Say that again for all the little ball beating parents.
He's 6'9", 6'10", can handle the ball the way he can. They gonna find a place for him, and it's not in the D League. Oh, hold on. Let me tell you something, Jimmy. And I can't get off the show because I want to really explain something. I want to give her a thorough knowledge of yesterday when I got off the air, one of our Facebook, and it happened to be a woman. She was asking Robert, what is a two-way deal? And you just said that. And beginning, and I just want to help them out a little bit. Miss Carter, just for you. In the beginning, it began in about 2017, the off season, the NBA rosters expanded from 15 to 17 players, with the addition of 2 spots for players under what they call the new rule, two-way contracts. The NBA team may have up to 2 players under the NBA two-way contract. Those are extra 2, because it used to be 15 players, now 17. They're trying to use those 2 spots as a farm system to keep these players around and in their systems. Okay? All right. But those two-way contracts who will spend the bulk, remember this, of their season in the G League. And no more, Chris Walker, than 45 days with an NBA team. All right? And two-way players are paid, check this out, y'all, corresponded daily amount based on the number of days they play in each league. Okay? So if you go up here, you get more money. If you go back to the D League, they're going to give you that $75,000. You're going to get prorated for that $75,000 that you got from the beginning for being a two-way player. But if you're up in the big show in the NBA, you're prorated as a rookie minimum, at the rookie minimum. So it's a lot more money than the $75,000. Only player, but this the key, Jimmy. Only players in their 4th season, NBA season, are earlier. 4 NBA seasons are earlier, are able to sign two-way contracts. So the old dude, this is for the young guy. This ain't for you old vets, which can be either 1 or 2 seasons. You can be on those contracts either 1 or 2 seasons.
Let me ask you a question. If they stay 45 days, don't they get $350,000? If they stay 45 days, how's that work?
No, they stay 45 days, you go back. After 45 days, you got to go back to your team, to your G League team, or they got the option, as they did with the kid at New York Knicks. What's the kid went to Arizona?
The guard. Oh my God, what's his name?
The guard.
Lonzo Trier.
See, they got a choice, Chris, after them 45 days. Like Daniel House, after he did his 45 days, they got an option to bring you up for the rookie minimum for the rest of that year, and you'll be a full vested. Then you'll have a full vested year in the NBA.
That's what the Dallas Mavericks did to Jonathan Motley a couple of years ago.
Yes. It's a lot. It's a complicated deal, but
now, how to explain the terminology of this new thing, the
Exhibit 10.
The Exhibit 10 contracts, because Galen Robinson just signed an Exhibit 10 with the San Antonio Spurs just recently. And remember, his mother was out there she was partaking in the TSU homecoming this past weekend.
You about to say getting it in, Jimmy.
I hate him.
She was engaged in the homecoming festivities. Some of the Texas pro moms, which they still good friends, but okay. Explain Exhibit 10.
Okay, Exhibit 10 is a unique contract, y'all. It's a contract. It's a 1-year minimum salary NBA contract. Check this out now, Jimmy, with a Pacific Exhibit 10 attached to it. Okay? It's a 1-year minimum NBA contract, salary contract, with an Exhibit 10 attachment built into it with no other bonuses. Okay? These attachments are not present in every NBA contract now. Only deals in which both parties have agreed to include it. All right? You got me? Both parties have to agree. An attachment allows the NBA team to convert a player's 1-year minimum contract into a 2-way contract, but it has to occur prior to the start of the season. These 1-year deals, boy, this is a lot of mumbo jumbo, are often non-guaranteed. Okay.
Is that like a training camp deal, Howard?
Yes.
That's basically what it's called. So
Yes.
Exhibit 10
Yes,
is basically
it's more like
if you got invited to training camp.
Okay, which
So
lets
that-
NBA.
so-
Hold
so
on, let me help you out. Let me help you y'all. These 1-year deals are often non-guaranteed, which lets NBA teams waive the player and remove their cap hit from the team payroll with no hit. Okay? The Exhibit 10 attachment allows a player to earn a bonus of $5,000 to $50,000 in the event they are waived by that NBA team. Then sign a deal that with a G League affiliate and remain with that affiliate for 60 days. This $5,000 and $50,000 bonus, which does not count against the NBA salary cap, is in addition to the G League salary the player also collect, and so it's just.
So you can have an Exhibit 10 and a G League contract running concurrently?
Yes. So,
Oh, wow.
So you have you have the the Exhibit 10 bounds you to the NBA contract. You're gonna sign that puts you in the NBA for a minute. But you would be retroactive if they cut you. They allow you to go on a G League affiliate. Then the G League thing kick in, Chris. You can't. You're not having the two contracts at the same time. If you waive, notice what they said. You're not gonna count against the cap because you ain't got no money. That money. That's why they capped it at $50,000. So what they doing? If they like a kid a little much, they'll give him a little money, see how he pans out. If he don't, they can cut him and get rid of him, or if they like him enough, keep him on their
G League team.
on their G League team. That's all.
For less money than a two-way.
No. The two-way. If they cut him, the two-way for less money. The two-way. Less money. I got you.
So
Okay.
that's a trick. That's a trick on the numbers. Deal.
Oh hell yeah, it's a trick.
See?
And guess what? A two-way. Hold up now. You can sign. I don't know how many. You can sign a few of these guys. Okay, they said a G League affiliate cannot sign a player to an Exhibit 10 contract. That's what I was trying to explain to you, Chris. You can only get Exhibit 10 with an NBA team. And all that's doing is protecting the teams. They don't want to go over the cap, so they can get these guys a little money to keep them around, so the guys won't leave and go overseas, Jimmy. You following? So they won't go overseas.
But one of the things with Galen Robinson, this it still is a great step in the right direction for this young man, based on the fact that he averaged about 8 points, 4 assists at University of Houston last year, and modest number, but the winning factor, he's been a winner. He won the state championship 3 years in a row at Westbury Christian. Not many players have came through this area that can claim 3 state championships. And that means something. Understand, this is TAPS. Now, at a time when you had Preston Wood and all those schools, and different heavy hitters every other year, but still went to University of Houston. He goes to the dance 2 years in a row, gets to the Sweet 16. You lose in the first year at a buzzer beater against Michigan, who ended up going to the championship game.
And got the brakes beat off by Villanova, but keep going though.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Got the brakes beat off of them.
But anyway, guys, we gave your guys 2 back-to-back days of overtime on the Chop Shop.
Woo!
At that clock, we need you to do your part and share the show. We need you guys to share the show because that helps us with our digital imprint. We didn't get to our mailbag, a couple other topics left on the table.
We get them all.
Including Jalen Ramsey. I know many of you guys want to talk football.
Had a nephew.
But that'll give us more on football Friday. Football Thursday, on Baby Friday, that is, when Hatter and Chris Walker go head to head.
Man, I want to beat that bum.
And we'll Hatter come out the basement. We're going to see. But that, and of course, we're going to dive in on this Jalen Ramsey trade, which transpired yesterday. We'll give our thoughts on that. And it'll be fitting also college football. There's
Man, I got to talk to y'all about that Jalen Hurts, the kid at LSU, and the court, how they, Leanne, when the quarterback at Jalen Hurts for Oklahoma throws the touchdowns, they said the wide receiver is amazing. When the wide receiver core at LSU does their thing, they say the quarterback's amazing. Chatter, you gotta read the way they write it.
Say it one more time.
When Jalen Hurts did his thing, now the quarterback in the the CD, what's his name? CD something, had a great game. He had 3 touchdowns, right, Jimmy? And they said, this dude is unbelievable. Well, Jalen, he didn't throw like little screens. Jalen Hurts put the ball down the field to these dudes. When the kid Burrow did his thing at LSU, the caption says, man, they got a great core wide receivers.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, Burrow has leaped Jalen Hurts in the Heisman watch. I'm like, hold on. That don't even make sense. You just said.
That's one of the topics for tomorrow. I was going
Chris
to
Walk. You got to hear.
Chris Walk, I can't believe you went there.
No,
Remember Paul
Jimmy know what I'm talking
Harding?
about.
Remember Paul Harding?
What?
Paul Harding. Jim Brown, Paul Harding.
Nah, we got to talk about that, man.
Yeah. That was.
You got me,
we got to
Jimmy?
talk about that, man.
You got
I
me?
couldn't believe what I was listening. I couldn't believe I was reading. I was like, hold on. You just said that the LSU got a great wide receiving core.
That's all
and
right.
then you punish Jalen Hurts.
That's all right.
Because the wide receiver can't throw it to himself the last time I checked. Right,
Chris,
Jimmy?
you love the boom boom room, don't you? You love the boom boom room.
They're my
don't you?
people. They're my people.
And guess what? LSU's best receiver, or arguably their best receiver, hadn't even played the last 2 games. He got hurt a couple against Vanderbilt. So he's supposed to come back not this week, but the following week. So this wide receiver that they're talking about, who worked their magic against Florida, was not including the main guy who's been out. So, like I say, that's something we got to
Unbelievable.
Send us on out of here, quick, Jim.
microwave.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based in debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do it first take on Facebook.
Up in D-Town in Highland Village, baby. It's going down.
Hey, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all crazy. Hey.
On behalf of the Hatter, and of course the Hat, it's time to twist this thing around. And I'm getting out there. Go Astros. Once again, the game's been postponed, guys. No game tonight. The Astros and Yankees, due to rain, will not play game 4 until Thursday, 7 p.m. So enjoy your evenings, guys. Hey, it's date night for me. I'm about to go chop it up. See you guys on tomorrow. Chop shop.
All right.
Chop shop.
Bye, y'all. Y'all crazy.